when it's your favorite FGC Chibi, joined with Honorable, and we got Jay in the background. Don't mind him. He'll attack if he feels like it. So today we're gonna talk about the.
Nigga.
He did that on purpose.
Give me some
sorry.
love.
No,
Oh,
you're
what?
fine. That's perfectly fine.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we're talking about the top 10 fighting games. So he's made a couple before, and I've had my own. I think I made them, but whatever. We'll do it again. But this is just the more about the topic about it, and whatever. But we have Honorable in here. Honorable, what are your thoughts? Whatever, as far as the top 10 list, or what was your thoughts going into it and whatnot?
Well, first off, Soul Calibur in #1 is crazy.
Oh wow, I'm glad I'm not. the
Also,
only one
any MK after 9 is questionable.
I mean, I'm a cap in the MK period. Sorry, MK. I mean, here's the thing. The context how I looked at this, because I know there's a list between them. I thought it was about like classic, because the thing is it okay top fighting games all the time? Because I agree a lot with Max's side. Because the thing is like their buddy list, and then there's Max's, which I wholeheartedly agree with a lot actually. But what was it? Fucking. I mean,
Okay, well, here's the thing. The correct answer he at least had was Third Strike.
Right. No, and then the thing is, the biggest reason why I heard about it is because someone said SF2 over CVS2. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's out of pocket. Like, there's clearly some things in here that are just aren't. The main thing is not about the list. It's like what just is straight up wrong. Like, and the thing is, it feels almost like a legacy in a sense, because it's too much legacy things where it's like, okay, this should be more of a legacy. So in this sense, where it's like top fighting games all the time. Like, what are we basing it off of? What legacy, influence, or actually good as a game? And the thing is, in that sense, Street Fighter 2, like I said it in the comments, you guys can see it from TBFGC, shout out to them, is that SF2, it's a classic. Like, it's something you always respect. Like, as far as influential fighting games, it deserves to be on that kind of list, right? Like, that's where that's where I'm more focused on, because that's what this list looks like more than anything, influential. And SF2 is good. It's like Doom. They're both the first of their genre and one of the best, but the thing is, SF2 had more issues than Doom did, and both aged great. Like to me, if you go to Street Fighter 2, it's a great starting point to get into any other fighting game, hands down. But the problem is, if you already play other fighting games, you try to go back to SF2, it's good to play with your, oh man, we play it, you get into the groove of things really fast, because it's, you're surprised how modern SF2 is. But because of that too, it makes it really hard to go back, because you see immediately, oh wow, there's no super, wow, everything's slow, where's my V gauge, or is this like, modern games are just better versions of Street Fighter 2. So that's why, to me, if there was ever a top fighting game, Street Fighter 2 would be nowhere near that list. The only people who think that, unironically, are loser boomers who can never adjust to new fighting games, or people who played Street Fighter 2 and that's it. Those are the only people who unironically think Street Fighter 2 is the best. Because you ask anyone that actually actively plays fighting games, they have the same sentiment I do. It's like, you cannot go wrong with randomly playing Street Fighter 2, like on the Switch. Like right now, me and Otto play. It won't last longer than an hour. We'd be like, all right, let's go play Street Fighter Cross Tekken or something. That's the biggest thing why SF2 for that kind of list would never go long.
What did I die from? What the fuck?
But for like a legacy list, yeah, it'd be at the top, absolutely. Arguably even #1. But Soul Calibur, to me, first of all, Soul Calibur 2 is regarded one of the best, or even 3. So why Soul Calibur 1 is up there is beyond me. And as a legacy thing, if we're gonna do 3D, it has to be Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter is the most influential 3D fighter of all time. And you know how influential was the fact that DOA and Tekken took mechanics from them, and it's obvious because once they went to 6, their mechanics have been ass. Like Rage, that shit's trash. Same with Heat and their Rage arts, that shit's garbage. Because Tekken can't innovate like Virtua Fighter, and they haven't. They've said as much. And Tekken 3, someone said, is there for nostalgia. I agree. Don't get me wrong. Tekken 3 is good, even as like a nostalgia. Like I don't think it's one of the best Tekkens of all time. Hands down, it's 5. Objectively, it's just straight up 5. It's not a contest. But for legacy, I think it definitely belongs there. But near the end, definitely. I would argue, as far as 3D fighters, Soul Calibur 2 was more influential than Tekken 3. But Virtua Fighter has to be #1. Because again, that's what I'm thinking, like from influence point of view. I'll give my own list in the future, but as far as like, because that's what it looks like. But MK, if we're going to give any MK, well, it would have to be the first one, purely because it is the one that helps set this ESRB and what games can do as an art. Outside of that, as a game, it's mediocre as fuck. Arguably, the best one to me is Armageddon. Heck, Mortal Kombat vs. DC made more waves, and that shit is ass. But a single, to me, if MK was in here, it'd be in last. Why is Smash Ultimate even in this? Like, Smash has had no influence on the fighting games, like, at all. It's a very weird thing. Like, fighting games have had more influence on Smash than it. And that's the thing. When you say top fighting games, we're talking about fighting games. If we talk about all fighters, then the list completely changes. Naruto Storm should be there. Like, heck, dude, a lot of this list would be Dragon Ball and Naruto games. You know, like, both in terms of good and influence. Like, that's why, again, you just can't put games like Smash in there. It's actually really asinine and stupid. It's crazy that we still have what we call, well, I don't know, Smash Shills or Smash or something. Regardless, we have a bad term for people like that. Like for
We call them the PDF files.
that too, like having that, and again, that's why Maximilian like Third Strike. It's funny because in influence, Third Strike doesn't belong there. Like, because the thing is, Third Strike is just too niche.
So many people here.
Like, and that's the thing too. Like, if we're talking about like influence overall, but actual influence, like someone said, I have to agree with Machin Obama. SF4 made more waves than 3 did. SF4 revitalized the FGC. Third Strike didn't do
I was
shit.
4 and 24. GG's.
But in terms of like mechanics and like no, Third Strike made influences as far as deving and the community. It didn't make a single footnote in the larger scheme of things, right? That's why it's different thing. And the list to me looks more like, again, like it feels more nostalgia than anything that feels objective. If I'm being perfectly honest, you know what I mean? That's just all. An MVC 3, oh, that belongs there. It's both one of the best MVC games ever, or crossover games. Arguably, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom mechanically is a better game. Like, again, that's the thing. If you want to look at things objective, like, you have to look at, like, no, TVC is just better. The games, because the thing is, MVC 3 is super homogenized, whereas TVC, even though a lot of the combos and schemes are homogenized, the characters feel mad unique and different. Just look at Kyosuke, Onimusha, dude. Yeah, right. Like even though we have the same, but like they genuinely feel different. And then Baroque is fucking crazy. And then the unique interactions with supers, like it literally, but MVC feels like almost a watered down version of TVC, which is crazy to say because this is MVC we're fucking talking about. That shit's crack. Like they turn up the speed and crack to 11, but they turn down the uniqueness of it. Like, because basically everyone kind of plays the same in MVC 3. It's just the you get different versions of crack and cocaine when you watch the certain menagerie. I think if you're gonna put
it depends on the dealer that you get it from.
I'm not the biggest KOF guy, but if I were to say any KOF would be for the top 5. Again, to me, I see this list and I just see top 10 influential fighting games of all time. That's what I just see, honestly, because a lot of these games are like outside of Third Strike, none of these make sense at all. Like, just straight up, they're not. Like the CVS, like the only ones that make sense is like CVS2 and Third Strike. The rest, like, no, they're not the best within their own contemporary games. It just, no. This feels more like Legacy than anything. But I will say Smash Ultimate is the best out of all the Smash, obviously. So that'll get some Smash's booty here because apparently like the GameCube version. But yeah, no. Yeah, no, KOF, I think 2002. No, if anything, for sure, KOF 2014. I think I could be wrong. That is objectively the best KOF. Like, it's just so fucking good, and the hand-drawn oh, so good. But for what I know, a lot of the people's favorite is definitely fucking, I think, 2000 Mark of the Millennium, whatever. But to me, I like CVS2 more, just because I like Capcom characters a lot more. But I mean, I don't know. What's your take from all that I just said? Did you feel you got the same vibe from that, or did I change your mind on anything? Because to me, it just feels like a Legacy list, and even then, they're still wrong to a degree. Because again, if I were to say,
I don't know.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, like earlier about the Virtual Fighter comment was like, isn't there another game being made after like 5 years?
Yep. Also 10, more like 10, dog. They're in the process. Fun fact: that's why Akira was gonna be a DLC character, and they even had the Harada leaked the whole full Akira in there. But he said, "Oh, the reason we couldn't do it is because they're working on Virtual Fighter." So they want to save the character as a surprise. I'm like, damn, oh shit. Or who knows, he could be trolling. Harada's a known troll. They might still add Akira. And that'd be great. I mean, we had Akuma before SF6 dropped, so hey. Heck, no, they had Akuma before 5 did. I think it would be a great way to drum up hype for Virtual Fighter, so I think it would be a missed opportunity for Sega to not do that crossover, if I'm being honest. So Sega, if you're listening, actually let them make it. Like, I think it would be a great teaser. But yeah, carry on.
I feel like if I were to do the list, I think I would prioritize more on just the fighters that just have so much like chaotic fun energy, like BlazBlue Cross Tag did.
Oh, true. Yeah, and see if that was the case.
You know, like when I say that, people think, oh, Yuzuriha and you know, like you know, but it's like, no. Take away the people who play the most boring fucking characters. You have single-handedly the funniest fucking game in your hands.
You know, that's
how much can you say that a high school girl who fights with a fan is attacking a literal tank?
I mean, yeah, no, actually, if that, and then again, I think that's like top 10 fun party fighters, right? And in that this list would be completely different. Like I said, MVC3, same problem. That game at high level with top is cancer, boring as hell. But at casual to normal, it's the shit. Same with TBC, BB Tag, like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Like, yeah, we would see a lot more of those games on, like, because at the end, don't get me wrong, everyone likes to talk about this and that, but I think for most people, and I think that would be more of a normie list, and I would agree with it, because you could just do more fun shit. And heck, something like Smash would make more sense in that list. Like, literally, Smash would belong in that list, because that's what it's built for. You know, shit.
I was gonna say as well that it's also just really hard to have an objective tier list, because it depends on the person's personality, how much knowledge they have from
exactly
just a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't have a variety, then it's just going to be, what are these games I'm going to play out of all the ones I did play?
Right, exactly. And I think I mentioned
Max here has the benefit of playing a lot of fighting games.
He does.
But I wouldn't tell you like, oh, he invested 1,000 hours or like 500 hours into each one ever made, because no human ever has that.
Yeah, and the other thing is he's even admitted that BB Tag's one of the funnest anime fighters he's ever played. But he doesn't rank it as the highest. He rates Guilty Gear because, yeah, on a depth level, it's better and everything. But BB Tag, in my opinion, is better because it's more fun. Like, at the end of the day, that's why Third Strike, to me, is something no one disagrees with. Everybody knows it's one of the most technical, difficult, and respected fighters. But it is also one of the funnest. That's why, like, Third Strike being number 1 is objectively correct in any list. Like, it's kind of like the thing, how in any genre or anything, whether you're a football player, any sport, something, there's always almost an objective number 1 in it. Sure, there's some debate.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, everybody knows fucking Pelé is one of the best for
Everyone
football.
knows Sword Art Online is number 1 in the anime genre.
Everybody knows
that Sword Art Online's the best one.
Oh, what's that shonen anime called? Whatever. Eventually, that's a good one. I'd watch that. I would unironically watch that. It's called Boondocks.
He said it's called Boondocks.
Yeah, but no, I would say BB Tag is one of the best anime fighter games of all time because it's even from a competitive standpoint, someone who played it, dude, it's actually one of the fairest ones. Like, Guilty Gear is too much bullshit. It's not a good competitive anime fighter. BB Tag, unironically, is the best one. So both from a fun and a standpoint, like BB. But yeah, no, like again, and like I say, people say Final Fantasy VII is one of the best. I mean, that one's far more contingency, right? But it's definitely one of the top 3 for sure, right? But within the FGC. Like, everyone's got, like, I even said this before. You got your personal favorite. For me, I always said MVC3. But if someone said, oh, what's your favorite? You see, there's 2 things. What's your favorite and what is the best? Your answer has to be Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. That is the only correct answer. Anything else is objectively wrong. It straight up is. I've never met a single person from a scrub to an MLG that hasn't loved Street Fighter 3, bro. Everybody loves it. And then, like, I think Third Strike is like the BB Tag for 2D or classic fighters. Easy to understand, hard to master. And even the high level shit, like in BB Tag, oh, they're tagging, it looks crazy. You don't get what's happening, but you're like, you know it's hard. Whereas in Third Strike, not only do you get what's happening, you see what's happening. You see ding, ding, ding. Oh my god, he's deflecting that shit. Let's fucking go.
He parried Aegis Reflector.
I mean, think about this. The most watched esports moment in history is Evo Moment 37. That alone, like, that's why, like, again, Third Strike is objectively correct. Whether it's your favorite, it's a different story. Like, Third Strike's definitely one of my favorites, but it's not my number 1 fave, right? I prefer games more MVC-ish, like, or even like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Those are styles I prefer far more. But if I were to say, oh no, let's say my favorite's MVC3 or JoJo's, but what's the best? Oh, Third Strike. That's the only correct answer. Like, so know this: when you make a list and it's objective, automatically Third Strike's at the top. If it's not, I don't care. You could put fucking DOA second, and DOA's trash. But as long as Third Strike is first, it's like, all right, this guy's at least half right. Because that's the main thing I'm gonna say right now. Like, that is just, it is like along the FGC. Like, I'll tell you right now, someone who's, if you want to be a commentator, if you want to be a competitor, we have an official cult, and one of the answers is, what is the best fighting game? If your answer is anything but Third Strike, we erase your name from history. You never existed. And we you off a boat or some shit. So there you guys know. You want to be a part of the official FGC cult. The correct answer is Third Strike. Anyways, anything you want to add to that, Honorable? That's why Third Strike music's playing right now too. Yeah. Come on.
Resurrection.
Oh, yeah, that too. Really, come on. You don't have anything else.
No, I said my piece. If I were to, like I said, like, I feel like people's they can't really separate easily, objectively, from just the games that they played or favoritism.
True. Oh.
And personally, for me, I would prioritize how much fun the game is.
Yeah, I think that is an important for sure. But I mean, the final thing I want to add to this is, I think that you can agree with, that's a huge factor, is that the skill matters. Like, these games are very different from low, medium to high level. And like I said, MVC3 and GG at high level are garbage. Like, they're trash. They're not good games at high level. Like, like, if we want to talk about what's one of the, it's, again, another, if we're talking about competitive fighting games, dude, the top would primarily be Street Fighter games. Hands. As someone who's actually competed and played a lot of fighting games, Street Fighter is unironically the most honest, fair, and skill-based out of all the fighting games. It's not even a contest, bro. Every fighting game has its bullshit. Trust me, they all do. But getting Throne Loop 5 times in a row is not as cancer as getting one touched in Tekken and in BB Tag. Well, in BB Tag's case is two touch, but my point stands. The point, you know, and there was a conversation. TVC FGC said a lot of too many modern fighting games. It feels like you make one mistake, you could just fucking lose. You know, and that's why a lot of people like older fighting games, and I agree. I think older fighting games are much better for competitive. And they're bullshit. Oh, the characters roster's not balanced. Like, I don't care. At least the game's balanced. Fuck the roster. I prefer the game be balanced over the roster. And see, and again, like you said, bias and everything. But again, if we're talking about real competitive, it's like we should. There's nothing competitive about. Again, MVC3, it's one of the least competitive. There's nothing competitive about round start and then having to guess. That's not a fighting game. That you might as well just be at a casino, and there's not an argument there at all. You know. But yeah, no, I think that really changes the list entirely, and that's what makes something like this, like even for me, why I have a hard time considering is like I want to get at least really proficient at a lot of them to be able to give a full critique. And I mean, some of them you can just watch tournament footage and be. And the thing is, from there is how entertained are you? How entertained are you, and how much do you get what's going on? You know, oh, that's good. That's good. Like, oh, that's MLG or whatever, right? Shit like that. And at the end of the day, like I said, if I were to say, like right now, like deadass, if I said, what's the best competitive fighting game of all time right now? Actually, Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is actually the most balanced, well-tuned fighting game. And it has, and again, maybe Bryce too. I think a lot of the things it does is really good because Street Fighter 4 objectively has the best balanced fighting game of all time. And it was a certain patch, I think it was 2.0. But it proved that people don't want balance. Because guess what? Much like I said with MVC3, the more you balance, the more you homogenize the cast. Tekken has already this problem, and it started with 7. 8 made it less worse because now people have more unique tendencies. And the problem is the more unique the cast... You can't have both. You can't have a unique cast and a balanced cast. You can only have one. Pick and choose. And again, for fun factor, balance needs to go fuck itself. And I think that's why too many modern fighting games cannot reach the level of the classics, honestly. That's why I think it's not a boomer take to think that a lot of classics are going to be up there. Also, MVCI being up there is actually cancer. That shit's trash. You're not cooking with that one. I just realized that. But
I mean, he's working on the project. That's why
I don't like I said. Look, Max, I love you, but that game is garbage as fuck, dude. Like it's garbage as fuck, dude. It should be nowhere near a list. That's the only thing he has wrong. Third Strike is fine. MVCI needs to go in the trash. But yeah, and again, because it feels like ass. It's not even fun. I don't care how much you mod it. That shit feels like trash. But yeah, no. And again,
wait, what's that game next to MVCI? I just realized it on the right.
Virtua Fighter.
Not CVS2. Virtua Fighter. Oh,
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like something. Like I think for a lot of people, like if you're low to mid to high, like I said, BB Tag would be easily #1 if you don't play fighting games. There's no other answer but BB Tag. Followed by again, how comforting your game is to nooblets and how much content will determine how much higher you're on the list for like low skill level. So I think I could see SF6 being up there, BB Tag, Soul Calibur 4, Tekken 6, because of their great content or great approach to teaching new players. You know, heck, Strive arguably will be up there. You know, and then for higher level players, again, Third Strike isn't that far off, SF5, or again, a lot of the Street Fighter titles, like CVS2 to a degree. I think Tekken 5 for sure, absolutely. I think Tekken 5 is one of the best 3D fighting games. Absolutely. It's so good, even though the roster is basically just 6 characters, but who cares? Just because fuck the rest, I don't care. The gameplay is clean as fuck. But yeah, no, you would see games like MBC and GG, like, in general, just at the bottom because they're not good competitive fighters in the slightest. And even Under Night would be at the bottom too because it's not a good spectator sport. Like, to watch Under Night is not entertaining in the slightest. This is coming from someone who plays Under Night. And that's another list too. What games are more fun to play than to watch? And I think that one can definitely be very subjective. Where I think the ones that matter is like which are some of the best at the middle. And you see the same trend. Third Strike, MVC2, CVS2. These are games that are super fun at mid-level, low, high. You know, and even then, like I said, objective comes like again content. It's a very nuanced topic. And again, the best way to put it, dude, is if Clockwork. You guys have seen his list. He didn't put CVS2 nowhere near his top 10. And again, he doesn't play it enough, and he doesn't get... And it's funny, because it has parries, and codes... Anything that has a parry, Cody will automatically put it top. And you know what? Fair enough, I get the sentiment. But as a competitive player, I actually have gotten to fucking hate parry. Because you love it as a casual and a normal player. But once you get good at fighting games, you fucking hate parry. You're like, man, I have to guess now? Fuck. And SF5 is the best game to deal with parry. They gave it active frames. Unless you're Gil, in which case, fuck you. But then they compensate by saying, oh, you have to do low and high. It's like, Again, why I think literally SF5 is probably one of the best fighting games of all time. Like, think about it. It's great competitively and casually. And it genuinely, like the roster balance is kind of whack. I'm not going to deny that. But like I said before, it could be preference. I prefer the game balance be good over the character balance. And again, it's not perfect. That's the other thing. SF5 is not perfect. But I'd still rather deal with throw loops than whatever GG's got going on, you know? But yeah, that's all I got to say. I think we'll run it up there because this is a pretty long conversation and shit. But anything you want to add on to that, Honorable?
People should respect the GG Season 4 patch because it's an arcade game mode now.
That is true.
It's not a balanced whack now.
Yep, and thank you for joining us. Again, big shout outs to TBFGC. Because, no, for sure, CBS 2 needs to be... At the end of the day, there are some games, like I said. CBS 2 needs to be at the top. Same with MVC 2 or 3. I don't care either or. They're both good games as far as influential. And no, Tekken 3 is big in influence, for sure. But, I mean, you guys already get it. Like, maybe one day we'll make a list. Like, I'll make a list, top 10 influential fighters. I think that's a lot easier to make. Because it's like, oh, what actually made influence, right? And then you start to see some lists. Like, because SF4, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. That game is kind of ass, I'm going to be honest. I think competitively, that game is trash. I mean, Daigo said it best. You don't have to be good at Street Fighter to play SF4. Enough said. And y'all ain't saying Daigo's wrong, so fuck off.